Very warm welcome to the edition of APSCHE-IIC Multi-Institutional Research Program on Tirupati and recording the film President of their reason I want to welcome the Vice Chancellor, Professor Diego Manhattan. I extend a warm welcome to Professor K. Director of Creative and Community Creative Artists. Doctor Richie. I extend my highest welcome to Professor Shantanu Bhattacharya, Director Tiger Tirupati, to give thank you everyone for joining us. And once again, a very warm welcome to all of you. Now I request Dr. N. Rajini, President of today's event, to take over the proceedings. So, dignitary Sankadaya, I'm faculty of various institutions and the students. We should be of more, a very pleasant and lovely afternoon. Beautifully late. Now I invite for the invocation the students.
एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनया धीमहि गजेशाय वाच श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनया धीमहि गजेशाय वाच श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि गानचतुराय गानप्राणाय गुरुपूजिताय गुरुदेव गुरुसुरमनसे एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशाय वाच श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि
So I'm very happy to see it's of the institutions of the top institutions, IAT, Pfizer, along with our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sujari, for the inauguration of this APSCHE-IIC Multi-Institutional Research Program. So I truly appreciate Professor B. Mamata for her initiative, and also she has chosen very creative project. So this project is related to the creation of campus biodiversity registers of Sri Padmavati Pandya Viswavidyalaya, IIT, Pfizer campuses of Tirupati, and the Tirupati University. So really it's a very positive and collaborative initiative because different institutions are collaborating in this research program. So, in this regard, now I invite Dr. Prasanna to give the details about the project.
Good afternoon, everybody. The pleasure to be here at Padmavati Viswavidyalaya. So I'm here to talk a little bit about the project that was recently awarded to the Classical Institution in Tirupati. The title of the project is Creation of Camp Biodiversity Registers of the Karnataka Media Vidyalaya, IIT and Research Campuses Tirupati, and Dravidian University Kuppam, making conservation of biodiversity a paramount importance. So, at the outset, this proposal was funded by Andhra Pradesh State Council of Higher Education, which is a statutory body of the government of Andhra Pradesh, which is tasked with the responsibility for coordinating higher education research in the state. So, in that context, there was a call for submission proposals from different clusters across Andhra Pradesh, and the Tirupati cluster being one of them. And this proposal was initiated by Professor Manta, one of the major presidents, and along with IIT Tirupati, IIT Tirupati, and Dravidian universities. So, a brief summary of the project background and the expected outcomes. So, basically, the flora and fauna are the essential part of biodiversity and provide not only aesthetic, cultural, and economic benefits to mankind, but also provide food, medicine, shelter to millions of people and ecosystem services worth several billions crores of rupees annually. Their role in maintaining these ecosystems is absolutely critical for all life. This important resource is unfortunately facing unprecedented loss due to various factors. So, keeping in mind the well-being of humankind and future economy, it will depend very much on maintaining these available bioresources for posterity. So, India has launched this national mission for a green India in 2014 with the objective of sustainably managing the forests and reserve ecosystems, adaptation of vulnerable species and ecosystems to the changing climate, and the harmonization of forest dependent communities. So, as a result, conservation of biodiversity is the absolute need of the hour. And with the advent of geoscience and other geospatial technologies, they are playing a huge role in shaping the road of the nation towards achieving these goals. So, over half the world's population actually lives in cities, and rapid urbanization is driving the decline of biodiversity. So, to conserve this biodiversity in urban ecosystems, of which obviously the Tirupati cluster is one, it is critical to maintain these urban green spaces and to maintain the biodiversity. So, this requirement is what has stimulated this research proposal among the cluster institutions of Tirupati. I've already named them, which will provide the refuge for the diverse set of plant and animal species. At the same time, the other objective of this proposal is to train the faculty and students at these universities to be educated in the diversified life systems of on their campuses and also to increase their appreciation towards the regional biodiversity and the importance of conserving it. So the main objectives of the present work are to create campus biodiversity register and institutions within the cluster, building capacity in the faculty and students of the institutions to identify and document the biodiversity, and to compare the biodiversity with control sites in the SV National Park which is nearby to direct the benefits of urban conservation and preservation of global biodiversity. So all the conservations that will be collected during this project will be captured and recorded using the this application, which is on the app that you can install in your phones. So it's an international platform partly used by the National Geographic Society and a powerful artificial intelligence algorithms that can identify the coordinates of any species to the nearest taxonomy. So students and dedicated faculty members of these participating institutions will be trained using this INATMUS application to record and curate the INATMUS data. Additionally, INATMUS also has a vibrant community that provides feedback and identification of the photographs by various members. The GeoPens project will be created for all the participating campuses such that all the records collected under the respective campus projects can be identified individually, and all of the curated data on National News platform will be downloaded to create these campus biodiversity registers. So at the end of this, the expected outcomes are that we'll have campus biodiversity register for each of the four campuses in this Tirupati cluster, and then that there will be training of all the students and faculty of these institutions in identifying, documenting, monitoring, and conserving the campus biodiversity. And then through the accordingness, the geotag data of biodiversity shall be curated and communicated. So documenting and monitoring the campus biodiversity will be an efficient tool to improve students' knowledge of biodiversity and also improve their love and concern towards nature and its conservation. So that in a nutshell is how this project is going to pan out in the coming months. So thank you very much for this opportunity. Pleasure meeting you. And
Thank you, Dr. Patnagar, for giving much details about the project what you are doing ahead. And also highlighting the objectives and the outcomes of the project also. Thank you very much. Now, the time to listen to the convener's message. Order?
Introduction.
Oh. So now I invite to give the introduction about the Dr. K. Satyanarayan garu, IIT Director.
Related organized, and dear students. Good afternoon, everyone. And I'm able to privilege to introduce Professor K. Satyanarayan, convener of APSCHE Tirupati. Professor K. Satyanarayan is the founding director of APSCHE Tirupati, Andhra Pradesh, and is currently serving his second term as director. He is on deputation from IIT Madras, where he has been professor in the Building, Technology and Construction Management Division of the Department of Civil Engineering. He received his BTech degree in Civil Engineering from IIT Madras, and he received MS and PhD degrees with specialization in Construction Engineering and Management from Clemson University, USA. He has been a faculty at IIT Madras since 1991, and in 2009 he was a visiting professor at Iowa State University, USA. His teaching, research, and consulting interests are in the areas of project management, construction contracts, construction productivity, construction equipment, C&D waste management, and public-private partnerships. He has published extensively in these areas and he is the recipient of many awards, including the Project Management Institute India Distinguished Scholar Award 2011. At IIT Madras, he served as advisor and affairs from 2004 to 2009, chairman engineering unit from 2010 to 2013, and chairman of the implementation committee for IIT Madras Research Park, phase 2 and 3. He has served on the committees for setting up new campuses including IIM Trichy, IIM Indore, IIT Jodhpur. He coordinated the preparation of the detailed project report for setting up the sixth third generation IITs that started in 2015-16. He is the member of the Empowerment Committee for Industrial and International Collaboration set up by Ministry of Education, Government of India, and he serves as Vice Chairman, Board of Advisors of the Grants Academy, expert member on the Board of Management of Building Materials and Promotion Council. He was a founding member of the Institute of Green Construction Excellence, and he also serves on the governing bodies of academic institutions such as NIT Tadapallingal, IIIT Tigam Kannur, IIIT Sri City, AIMS Mangalgiri, NIT Vijayawada, IUCWF Pune, and GKUT. He also serves as independent director on 5 company boards. The IIT Tirupati campus that he has guided is setting up has many awards for sustainability, health, safety, and exemplary performance. We are very happy to have you here, sir, in spite of the busy schedule. Your expertise and your very, very
Thank you, Dr. Vasidhamti. My fellow colleagues on the stage, off the stage, students, a very good afternoon. I'm very glad that we come to this moment where we're launching this project. You know, the idea of creating these clusters is something that I had put it with the government of Andhra Pradesh a few years back. And basically, what has happened in the state of Andhra Pradesh is after bifurcation, a number of centers come before bifurcation were hardly only Sanskrit University here in the residual state of Andhra Pradesh that we have. And now we have 13, 14 centrally funded institutions, we have a whole bunch of state institutions, we have private institutions. So we felt that it is good to have a forum where we can all come together and share our experience, share our vision of how the education landscape in the state has to be taken forward. And we created this higher education planning board, which APSCHE has done it. I have to compliment the then chairman of APSCHE, Professor Reddy, for taking this forward and implementing it with great enthusiasm and lot of thought that he has put into it along with his team at APSCHE. And the first higher education planning board meeting happened right with the team. Subsequently, we've been meeting almost every 6 months, which is a chance to meet all the others and so on. And then the whole idea, we formed 5 clusters across the state. The Tirupati cluster, which is the biggest education cluster in the state, consisting of institutions in and around Tirupati, including Hupam, Sri City, where you have India and IIIT Sri City, then Nellore, Chittoor, and Tirupati institutions. The next cluster is the Vijayawada Guntur cluster, where we have a whole bunch of institutions there. The third cluster is the Visakhapatnam cluster. Fourth one is the Godavari cluster, institutions around Patna and Godavari area. And then the fifth cluster is the Anantapur cluster. Okay, so 5 clusters is formed. The whole intention is within these clusters, we come together and identify locally relevant topics where we can work together as institutions, share the resources that we have, and take things forward. And also, based on the expertise that is available. One thing is what is of local relevance and what is the expertise that is available in the institution. So that was the idea. So we kept meeting and we kept talking. But how do you make people start working together? You can just not just come meeting, have a cup of tea and go back. Then I proposed to everyone saying that what would really make people sit and work together, you have to put some money on it. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. So that's when, again, we were very proactive. Given an idea, you went for it. And came up with this set of saying, we'll call for project proposals. And based on the project proposals, for the project proposal, minimum 3 or 4 institutions have to come together and put together a proposal so that they start working together. And we said, okay, we're going to be relevant to that area based on your expertise and so on. And I think we received a bunch of proposals, and I'm very happy that this proposal got accepted. Because of the Tirupati cluster, we've identified 3 or 4 areas. Just trying to recall I keep getting confused. I'm the convener. So I'm the convener, and we had Professor Vijay Bhaskar, the now the in charge VC of one of the universities. Hello, yeah. And the dean at SU University, he is the coordinator. So this we identified areas. One is biodiversity. So we have a very rich ecosystem in this area, starting with Tirupati Lake ecosystem with the estuary, coastal, we have the coastal ecosystem and the estuary backwater ecosystem of Tirupati Lake. Then we have the Shetlands forest ecosystem. So we have very rich ecosystem. Here we said that's one area almost. And the second area, which based on the expertise we have, I think we've identified food technology as another area. And the third one is solid waste management. Food technology. The third one is solid waste management and then the environment and waste management. So these are the three areas we have picked up. So this topic that is being funded now, which again I would like to thank Professor Namtar for taking this initiative and bringing it together and putting this proposal together, which is on the creation of campus biodiversity registers across these campuses, where the four institutions are coming together. So the whole idea is to create a baseline as to what is right now, how do we protect it, and with the growth that is happening, especially in this region, we will have an opportunity to do long-term studies, not just say this is what it is. Then gives us a basis on which we can see how this rapid urbanization and industrialization is doing. There's a lot of industry that's going to be coming up in this region. AP state government is looking at Tirupati being a major industrial cluster. Right? Everyone, they want to bring the main electronics manufacturing industry into. I've had meetings with the Honorable Chief Minister and the Minister for IT and Communication and also Education Minister, Mr. Lokesh. And both of them were very clear that this will be a major third aspect. Like at the airport, you have DMC 1 and DMC 2. And then there was more industry in the above, and there is a lot of other industry and so on. They're very close. Large industrial corridors that are being developed across the country. The Chennai Bangalore industrial corridor, Chennai Vizag. So with all this growth happening, obviously there's going to be impact on the environment here. So can we look at how is it affecting the both from a climate change perspective, from the ecosystem here, what's happening? It's just an opportunity to long and we create a very strong baseline right now. And also the challenges we're facing with this changes that are happening. So we thought it was great project. We also along these lines, and even campuses across the country, we see campuses have been placed with rich biodiversity still being there. As was pointed out, I've been a professor at IIM Madras. There's one of the best campuses from perspective of an forest kind of area, right? With just not the plants and the trees and the birds, but with very rich animal ecosystem. Deer, spotted deer, black buck, monkeys, right? You have monkeys walking. You're taking a class of which like this, you can always see monkeys walking in the forest. They also come into the room, they will come, stand, look at the stare at you and go. And you can't keep windows open, they will come into your room and so on. So we have this campuses like this. If you look at the amenities of the campus, and day one, the then I think director and the team had taken the decision that we will actually preserve the ecosystem to the extent possible, the green ecosystem. Actually, they've greened it quite a bit. We go back and look at the pictures of IIM Madras from the early 60s. It's mostly a shrub forest, but now it's a very thick forest. Interestingly, how does studies help you understand what are the impacts of your interventions? Give an example. Many of this is how can you do it? What do you think will be the right time, the best answer, or be not the best thing? Again, go back to the case. So when Professor MS Anand, the former director, he commissioned an ecology study of the campus, applied to us. So we got into this firm, this organization called PERA, run by gentlemen, Dr. Ranjit Daniels and Dr. Jayashree Anderson. Both of them are ecologists from IIS, and they have this company called PERA. So we commissioned that study. So where we completely mapped the flora and fauna on campus, brought out very nice booklets on the various plants, birds, trees, species on the campus. And one of the things they came back and said, you have overtreated the campus with a dropping bird population. Now this is, how can you have more trees leading to less birds? Right? You would expect. I have no trees, I have more birds in the campus. So how can that be? So this is what I'm saying with confident people. Their argument was as follows. Now we have a lot of monkeys. We have here, you can see, if you go to the walk campus, you'll see the monkeys eating and dropping some here, sitting on the ground, eating the one that is dropped. So they said, earlier it was short forest. I grew up in that campus, so I know how the campus 62, where I was born. I was probably 6 months old kid when I got into campus, so I've seen the whole campus, how it has changed. In front of my house, in that campus, we used to play cricket in the open field. Today, if I go to campus, it's just dense. What was saying? The hostel I lived in 7984, had a huge field in front of it. And we could easily see the buses going on the road in front. And today, when I go there, I can't see the house because there's so many trees when I go. So there are arguments earlier, it is really a compound, trees dispersed, and the monkeys climb the trees that have roots on them and let the other trees alone. Okay. Now, with the overgrowing, all the foliage, all the trees are interlinked. So monkeys don't climb down and they just jump from tree to tree. If I have to get to another tree that is 3 trees away, see the process that destroying the world. Okay. Now, these are the kinds of insights, that not necessarily overgrazing always leads to that. One, and bush, maybe on the carbon dioxide, it take care of, but about pollution. Right? So, I'm just giving you one example of the kinds of insights that we can get into how interventions have impact that we don't think of, so on. So when we came back, having had this experience, having looked at this studies that we done at IIT, the moment we got this beautiful piece of land to set up our IIT campus, I don't know how many of you visited the campus. It's a 548 acre piece of land. It's much smaller than the SPMVV land that they have. I think they have something like more like 1,000 acres kind of campus. So the first thing we did, as soon as we got the land, even before we did the contour survey, was to commission the ecology study of the campus. We got the same group PERA, about 8 of them came in, spent about 4 months. We had botanists, we had veterinary science people, we had people who knew how to identify different animals and so on, and the plant species, and they completely, and the water bodies, the geological features, all this they completely documented. So we have a document, a base document on what were the species in this thing. So we brought in a publication, completely documenting all the flora and fauna on the campus and the water bodies. The stream, when the water flows from the mountain to the downstream, they create channels for flow and they form the natural channels. We call them rivulets rivulets or what other term is used. Anyway, so we said we were going to protect those because those are natural formation. When we did the master plan, 1,000 students. Right now we only 600 students, but we've done a plan. Tomorrow the buildings come for 12,000 students, where will what come, where will academic buildings come, where will residential buildings come, right, where will sports fields come, all that has been planned. We said don't disrupt the original streams. I'm a civil engineer. He's here as a water resources expert, Professor Sampath. As an engineer, you want to get everything optimally, get straight line, fix something nice, make a nice grid, and so on. But we didn't do that. We said we will retain that and we will refer the existing flow of the water streams now. That's how we built our campus. We're still building, we keep building, for the next 100 years we keep building as you keep growing. But we have a base on which we are doing this. We created two large lakes of about 10 acres, 40 feet deep, which is about 8 to 4 meters of water. Takes care of about 4 to 5 months of our water supply. So 4 to 5 months of water supply that we use because also 100% residential campus, including all faculties, students, the family, faculty and staff members, the families, the students live on the campus, 90% almost. All the water supply for all of them is water that we have captured in the campus or a little bit run off from the mountain, right? So 8 liters of water we store. Just one major rainfall, 2 days of heavy rainfall in principle, because we're getting a lot of catchment area. So that's why last week we got the Jal Shakti Ministry of Water Resources earlier, it's called Jal Shakti Ministry now. They started giving the National Water Awards from last year. So this year, under the institutional category, we got the Special Mention Award, which in the media was there giving the award. So, uh, 28 award for campus visiting. Anyway, so a lot of these things are also getting listed. But most importantly, how do we do this? And we're very fortunate to have this very committed ecologists from ICER, Robin and Nandini, who advises a lot of these things. They've taken a lot of these initiatives. They have a team which is out to do citizen, what do they call it? Citizen science programs, outreach. We've been conducting bird watching. So, unfortunately, their campus is little bad. They don't have the kind of rich flora and fauna. We are on one side, they are one side of the highway, we are on the mountain, where the highway, so all the flora fauna is on our side. So one government came and said, can you give me a 1 hectare or 2 hectare plot on their campus, where we can do some of this micro monitoring. I said, why do you ask me for 1 hectare, 2 acres? The whole country is studies. Right? You come anytime you want, you accelerate if you want, and use the whole site and we will make it accessible to you. So with them taking these initiatives, we've been running a number of bird watching camps. They have done recently mock week nights. They were setting up in our campus. We have the water tank right at the edge of our campus on the base of the mountain. So they had all the IIT and IIT students and kids come and nights they would set up these lights with the white background where moths will come and land. And they were doing this different kinds of moths, the sounds and the documenting the different kinds of moths. So they were running these activities. Then they doing the bird count week. I think it's called bird count week. What week is that called? Yeah. So there are this event where a lot of there at that time we have a lot of people from outside the state also coming in and coming and spending a week there doing this stuff. So actually when we documented our initial document we brought out in 2016 of our campus ecology study, we had identified about 170 plus bird species at that time. Because it was only a 4 month window. The different birds come in different seasons. Migratory birds come in different time and so on. But after this bird count, we started doing in bird watching activities. The number of bird species has gone up to about 220 plus. Now campus that we're talking about, including migratory birds from Siberia, Himalayas, all those things. Now we want to further get the whole community here in this area engaged in this. So on the initiative of Mr. Srinivas, the chairman of Sri City, right? He certainly got this during this COVID period. He was sitting at house. Because he's a big industrialist and so on. And in the middle, there was a nice house on the lake front. And the COVID time, everyone was locked up. He suddenly took a fancy to watching birds and so on. And he is, and recently we had this, what is this, Palpeta, what is the, roller, right? Indian roller. So they were doing the Indian roller because during the Dasra time, it's a special thing where they try to, exactly. So they thought they would use that opportunity to do this. So we have now, they had initially created a Sri City Nature Society, but we are rebranding it as Tirupati Nature Society. That Tirupati Nature Society again has a lot of initiative taken by the ISER team, and we are also part of that. And Kriya University is also very active because we have the HLE ecosystem there, the backwater ecosystem, Pelican ecosystem, and so on. So we created this Tirupati Nature Society that we will bring it to the name change and so on, where we want to involve a broader across the Tirupati district institutions to completely, start really all these various activities. So with all these activities going on, this project is very, very timely that we have got it. The money is not big, small money, but gives an opportunity to get people to start working together. So we will need a lot of voluntary participation from all the students and so on. So the whole idea is at the end of this project, we set up a full framework to do the capture all the biodiversity across these various campuses, and then use this as a basis to do it on other campuses across the state and so on. So I request all your cooperation in taking this forward or not. I'm sure we form the local campus clubs, and then there's a platform like the IDA and so on, where you can capture the, for example, in my own campus, we have a WhatsApp group called the IIT Biodiversity Group, where every day people are walking, suddenly they see a small insect there, they shoot it, and they post it there, and other people comment. Like, someone gets really into detail about its behavior, whether how it so on, snakes, all those are regularly posted on the biodiversity group. So probably once we get these activities going, we will have much more vibrant, and then we need slowly bring in the school children. They are the people. In fact, UN has a number of schemes where recently I was involved with, I was introduced as the one of the members of the APSCHE-IIC Empowerment Committee for International Collaborations for the Government Administrative Education Form. So I head the vertical on disaster management and disaster. So there, UN has a big program on identifying disasters and how do we reduce their impact. And one of the things they're doing is with school children. They say, once you engage the school children, then they will go and get their parents to recognize this. So we need to then expand the activities to schools around and create a very, very vibrant community in this region. We should become a model setup where we create a framework which can be replicated across the country. So this is a great opportunity for that, and we will continue to support whatever activities. Hopefully, some once we show the vibrancy in this area and how effectively it is being done, then we can go to the various ministries at the state, at the central level, or even international bodies, and get from a much bigger funding for making more impact. Funding not for the sake of funding, but for the sake of being able to do things in the lives. So wishing the whole team, all the team members the very best, and I'm really looking forward to it. And so this is one area. The vice chancellors and the directors of other institutes also here. We will take it as 3-4 areas where we create such platforms. So thank you very much for the opportunity to. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing very good information regarding the biodiversity. So, as we said, it's very much essential to conserve the biodiversity, which will improve the healthy ecosystem, which in turn supports the human health also. Uh, Thank you, sir. You have mentioned about the different activities what we can do under the biodiversity project also. Already we started on our campus. So one of our professor is the area only, she is Professor Leela. Already she documented, she made a book also of the birds and the butterflies that are present on our campus. And the coding time also, we use it to get WhatsApp posts from Sandelia. Every day, each describing about it, sounds of the words and everything. We enjoy it a lot also. So definitely we do together lot of activities. Thank you very much, sir. So now it's a time to introduce Professor Shandri Bhattacharya, the director.
It's my turn to introduce the Director, Professor Shandri Bhattacharya. This moment we introduce Professor Chandra Bhattacharya is currently serving as the Director, Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research, Tirupati. Prior to joining at Tirupati, he was a professor at the Department of Organic Chemistry, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. He served as Director, Indian Association for the Cultivation of Science, Kolkata, from 2015 to 2021. He was the founder Vice Chancellor of IACS, deemed to be university, and founded the School of Applied and Interdisciplinary Sciences there. He also obliged as Director, Divisional Charge for the S.N. Bose National Center for Basic Sciences for 2015. He obtained his MSc degree in chemistry from the University of Science, Technology and Agriculture, University of Calcutta, and PhD degree in bioorganic chemistry from the Rutgers University, New Brunswick, USA. He was a postdoctoral research associate at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Cambridge, USA, working with membrane proteins under the tutelage of Nobel laureate Professor Hargobind Kaur. He received DSc honoris causa from Vidyasagar University, West Bengal in 2018. Professor Bhattacharya has teaching and research experience for nearly 40 years in various institutions across India and abroad. He served as visiting professor RKEN, Saitama, Japan, as Joe Pierce Fellow 2004-5. He was invited as professor to the University Joseph Fourier, Grenoble, France, and University of Montpellier, France. Professor Bhattacharya has spearheaded a number of research projects sponsored by DST, SAT, DST, STC, DAE, DRDO, APSCHE, Grenoble, France, etc., to name a few, including that from various industries. He has also served and is serving as an expert in various funding agencies with DST, DBT, SAT, DST, CSNR, Government of India. He is a recipient of numerous honors and awards, including the Lyndon Johnson Fellowship, NJUSA, Lewis Period Fellowship, NJUSA, NIH Postdoctoral Associateship, USA, Swami Jayanti Fellowship in Life Sciences, UST, Government of India, in 1998 to 2003. National Bioscience Award for Career Development, DBT, Government of India, in 2002. Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Award in Chemical Sciences, CSIR, Government of India, in 2003. JC Bose National Fellowship, DST, Government of India, in 2008. The World Academy of Sciences Frost Prize in 2010, among others. He's an elected fellowship at the Indian Academy of Sciences, Bangalore, and the Indian National Science Academy, Delhi, and then the World Academy of Sciences, Trustee. Professor Bhattacharya has about 330 publications in the International Peer Review Journal, several patents to discovered. Announced Lisa Professor. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak in front of you. You know, I come from Karnataka. After having spent more than 3.5 decades there, I came last year to Andhra Pradesh. And of course, Professor Satyanarayana has actually shown me the way to get acclimatized in the state of Andhra Pradesh. I am very pleased that the background which Professor Satyanarayana has already shared. The State Council for Higher Education has created different regional interinstitutional clusters, particularly on a very important topic. We are part of this Tirupati cluster, and one of the foci is the ecology and biodiversity. And as already mentioned by Professor Satyanarayana, at ISAR and IIT campus jointly, we have been conducting various student-led efforts to document biodiversity on campus. And as of today, we have more than 25,000 observations of various student-led efforts to document actual on-ground biodiversity on campus. And I'll just give you a brief snapshot about our collections by two of the colleagues, which Professor Satyanarayana already mentioned, Dr. Raveen and Dr. Nandini. And this is ISAR Tirupati and IIT Tirupati together and their surroundings. You can see this is a kind of snapshot where we have about 185 species of birds in and around the two campuses. And undergraduate students and research students have actually monitored, and they found that the new campus of ISAR has 134 species, And the campus naturalist and citizen science coordinator employed to assist the students and community to connect with the on-ground biodiversity. So we find that the region around the campus is extremely diverse, as already mentioned by Professor Satyanarayana. And in APSCHE-Tirupati, near Peru, is one of the top birding hotspot in Andhra Pradesh, particularly during the great backyard bird count in the early part of the year, February 2024. Of course, we know Pulicat, which is very well known, but I think with the advent of two campuses at IIT and ISAR, we have now created lakes which actually harbors significant quantity of water on campus, and therefore it becomes a good habitat for birds coming, naturalization and nesting, and therefore this provides an opportunity for further intensification of the signature. And if you look at the E-bird hotspot, the year-round bird observations, which is critical in tracking bird seasonal migration and habitat use pattern, and several such species like Palgus whistling duck, lesser whistling duck, shelduck, cotton pygmy goose, Indian spot-billed duck. And I think you already mentioned about the Indian rowan, which we call in Indian language nail kite. If you sight it, it's an auspicious sign that actually, Durga has come from Shiva. That's the connection for the Indian rowan. And so many such things we see, jungle bush, well, grey pangolin, and so on and so forth. And so these migration patterns according to the season are being monitored. And in APSCHE-Tirupati itself, the campus biodiversity collected by the BSMS and the research students, 1388 species, which is significant, and this is, as we are going time, it's increasing in terms of documentation and habitat, and you can see the changing scenario as of 15 March 2024. And number of observations on iNaturalist versus year is shown here from 22, 23, and 24. We have 24,000 observations, now it is 35,000. And we have a team from Cornell University, group of ornithology, actually visited, and they're very much interested in having a collaboration where we can do a lot of research on ornithology. And some of the broader impact, the key outcomes you can see, from the high naturally contribution from Andhra Pradesh. You can see I think you mentioned that you have a monograph on butterflies, and so these are observations which are coming. Again, as we are trying to do intense investigation, we are able to identify many new species, which would be invaluable contribution to the biodiversity. And some key ecology observation from our campus is that we retain the natural landscape elements, open habitats without exotic long grass, ponds, grasses, water bodies without landscaping to the extent possible. And many species of birds, plants, and other taxa depend on this. They strictly control and reduce we are actively trying to control the feral and stray dogs on campus because this has a negative impact on native birds and small mammals. At the same time, stray dogs attract, opportunistic leopards to campus. Plant species fruiting, pollination, and flowering species that attract butterflies and birds. That is a mixture of exotic but non-invasive and natural ones. We have several plans already in place and we want to add some more. And we don't want to create too many layers on the breeding structure that attract feral pigeons because that's a nightmare if you have. And they carry particularly various kinds of, zoonotic diseases. We have seen what happened in COVID. And apart from extensive housekeeping challenges that one faces, and create awareness about the species like jungle cats. I mean, I don't see many good-looking cats in Tirupati. I'm a cat lover, but I would be looking forward to, wild cats, not necessarily to the upper level of leopard and tiger and so on and so forth, but looking at them, they're one of the most beautiful beasts of nature. And snakes, of course, were in plenty, that we have in plenty in APSCHE campus, I'm sure all over the place. And leopards we hear from, Tirumala, from the newspapers. Monitor them using automated cameras without alarm. You have to be able to spot very recently Loris monkey, which is very exotic. I come from Indian Institute of Science campus, originally where I have lived close to 35 years. And I think arguably this is one of the most beautiful campus in the country. And there are many species. And I think some of these species, we can spot them, we can harbor them and make, a very sustainable biodiversity concept. I think thanks to Professor Satyanarayana for conceiving the importance of this in the state of Andhra Pradesh. And I can show you a few of the species that have been able to spot, and these are shown here. I think you can see them with the names. Many of them you know, barn owl you know very well. The blue-tailed bee-eater and spotted owlet. And of course, mammals. These have been spotted at APSCHE-Tirupati campus. You can see a beautiful-looking white cat there. So that's the kind of species which have been identified. And Indian grey mongoose, which is very important, particularly to deal with venomous snakes. Episcopal bats and squirrels, and the other thing is the insects of the campus that we have seen. There are many beautiful collection of butterflies. And the other flora of APSCHE-Tirupati campus includes some of these plant species which we want to nurture more. Our campus is in a very early stage of development. I think we have IIT, which is also very beautiful campus, and therefore I think, as Dr. Narayan has already mentioned, I think there are certain advantages in terms of elevation actually translate into an altered beauty and biodiversity there. So taken together, I think these two institutions will provide you a great deal of variety for you to enjoy in the years to come. And of course, these are parts of APSCHE Tirupati shown here, and these are various species. I think the goal of the project is to replicate our efforts at our institutions along with the other institutions in the cluster at various campuses so that our students can work together and collect data for National Geographic uh, to record it formally, and that will be having a powerful, artificial intelligence mechanism to identify species based on photos. And since these days youngsters actually like to take photo, thanks to the Android, everybody else, I think this would be very attractive to them. I think we should try to, see updates in WhatsApp once you identify a new species or you spot them. I think that there was a scientific paper in 2022 that looked at all the bird species reported on academic campuses all across the country, and they found more than 50% of India's birds are found in IITs, IISc, ISARs, and various universities, all the academic campuses. So, academic campuses are natural habitat for exotic biodiversity. I think the average number of birds in a given campus is around 58. I'm sure you have a very sprawling green campus here. You will have very large number if you have a systematic investigation. And so average is 88. I am sure it will be several hundreds. ISAR itself, having a relatively small campus of around 250 acres, has recorded 134 species. The highlights that academic campuses can play a vital role in biodiversity conservation, especially when combined with the citizen-led science, as mentioned by Professor Kunara, and it provides an avenue for engaging with the broader public and the society to engage with our green habitats as we harness in our campus. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing the information with regard to the biological resources that are present on the regular campus. So really, it's eye feast to see the pictures of birds, mammals, and insects of the campus. So anyway, with this knowledge, I think the faculty members and students will move from one campus to other campus also for different biodiversity activities. In the same way, so we love to see the moving of the birds and mammals also from one campus to other campus. Really, if it happens, it's amazing. We hope for that. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again. So now I invite Dr. K. Champansri to introduce the Roman Vice Chancellor. And the beginning students, faculties, and their students. It's a proud moment at SPMVV today to have Director IIT and Director Advisor on campus on a special occasion when we had the first project in the sector to be launched. So Mamta Secretary launched the project and officially announced that the project will be launched now. By one of the members, key members. Also take this opportunity to congratulate Mamata and all the team members from ISL, from University and IIT Tirupati for making this possible. There were a good number of applications. I knew and Professor Satyanarayana also just mentioned that was received by APSCHE when there was a call for proposals. And from our university, this was the only one proposal action. And it relates to a very important topic on fire. Having heard both the speakers about the biodiversity on IIT and ISL, I now feel that we need to do a lot more on the campus. And I'm hopeful that this project will give us some information which we already don't have, so that the record will help us also to plan for college. Yes, I do understand that the amount that is given to the project is small, but there is an opportunity to make it big. If you go ahead with the proposal, we have 100 crore grant that has been titled to the university under the PM Isha. So we have about 4 to 5 crores for research projects, which are multidisciplinary in nature. Professor Srivastaman is coordinating that, and the call for proposals is now ready. I think in about 8 weeks' time it's going out. So if you believe that we can take it forward and give it to more people, maybe add a couple of more institutes from this chapter. I think we can do it. And also I suggest very much to submit another proposal to work on the biodiversity issues on our non-connected and cluster level. We can do it on the campus, and we would like to convince the project. I look forward to more collaboration with the institutes in the cluster, in whatever area, but in research in particular. We were all together at IIT Tirupati about 3 to 4 weeks ago, when the district collector called all of us to share our views about how the district plan should go on, keeping in view the state's plan for Swarna by 2040. I think they are right. There are also some areas which we have identified where we can work together and work to that we can take this forward and keep meeting more often. So I thank you for this opportunity and I am very, very happy. I now request Mamata to attend for the pledge which he has planned.
Thank you, Ryan, for your insights into the message and encourage you. We all know that advice on the this along with the students to stand for the pledge, right, and it's the pledge. I think we all have it in the lives. We can also cover that. We the representatives of higher educational institutions. Let's do it now. Let's do it now. They've got it. Sorry. Yes, to the future. Who are to commitment to will awareness and thinking innovate, advancing the of conservation, solutions Now, I'm going to start with the possibility to present the action plan of the project. Shall we present the action plan?
So, hello everyone. So, this is Avita is from Tirupati. So, I'm research science coordinator at Tirupati. So, I'm engaging with all other institutions like IIT, with IIT campus, IIT campus, Mahila University, SB University. So, recently I joined ISF, like as a coordinator. So, I'm engaging with the general public. So, every weekend, monthly twice, we're conducting workshops in Nagaravanam, as well as in Mahila University, we conducted two works recently, with the GT array. So, and we are regularly monitoring when Secretary spoke about monitoring and all those things. So, I used to conduct those works. So, when company the campus actually compared to IIT and IIT, so in diversity, both the campuses are unique in the sense. So, IIT may have more trees and other diversity. IIT have unique diversity where it is inclined. So we have unique diversity of company centers but moths and butterflies and dogs. So this is so my presentation is not working. So probably I'm presenting that plan. So come to the Eastern Ghats. So compared to Western Ghats, both Eastern Ghats and Western Ghats are biodiversity hotspots. So everyone given so much importance to the Western Ghats in diversity wise, but it is Eastern Ghats is very neglected in terms of diversity work and everything. So now IIT and IIT campuses and other institutions are in these lands. So now we can collectively we can make justice toward recording the biodiversity and doing research in these lands. So about complete declutter programs. So we are IIT Tirupati, Tirupati, Mahila University, and Darwin University. I have been all three campuses in Tirupati have been I conducted walks and we are regularly covering the diversity aspects. But I have not yet visited Darwin University. Probably within this month I will visit, and we will plan for next sessions. So second are we to this project we plan two ways. One is the theory and one is practical. So theory section City have been going to cover particularly biodiversity, types of biodiversity, how to access different types of biodiversity and creation, and how to interpret this data. So she will cover in this aspect. The practical aspects through high analysis application and method. So I will explain and I will train you and like people from all four campuses, like how to use eBird and iNaturalist, how to record and like how to interpret the data. So we come to the eBird. So eBird is a global platform where Kernel University hosts like data. Throughout the globe, the people will upload products. When it comes to the iNaturalist like it takes the data, it covers the whole biodiversity. So you can upload anything which are the some micro fungus to like mammals, you can take a picture and upload the data. So one more like interesting thing about this application is just take a photo in your mobile camera and go to iNet app. If you upload it, artificial intelligence it identifies the which species it is. So most probably it will mention that most probably this is this species. So highest probability. So if you select the highest probability and you submit your observation to experts from that field, suppose I am very interested in butterflies. In general, I will regularly go to INACS, I will sort my observations like list of butterflies from Tirupati. If any one of you uploaded your data, I can see that observation. So if your observation like identification is wrong, so I can recommend new observations like this butterfly. I can comment it. So this is not this butterfly. This is this. This is this butterfly. This is the reasons why like your identification. This is the identification. So that if collectively everyone can correct and everyone update the data. Interesting about iNaturalist is after joining the so after extensively using this, from IIT campus we recorded the few unique observations. One is scorpion. So randomly I picked at night one scorpion. So I heard the iNats. So some people is commented like probably this is this general. So when I go deeper into deeper, so we got to know that it's probably new species to like scorpion. So probably we are working on it. Like we lost this sample, so we are like trying to collect that sample again. If we get the sample, we definitely going to be the new species. As well as really not we. So accidentally we saw one like snake in a tree. So it turned out to be like the gray like sand laser. First observation took shortly. So no one else recorded the previously. Like everything I got to identify to INAT. Without INAT, probably I would have lost the data of my picture in somewhere in my laptop. So INAT is really a strong platform. If you keep on using it, like you get like more interesting things and like data. So and when it comes to the training sessions, not only we are like planned for training sessions like within the institute, we are planning winter institute training sessions. So we are already in university and at Mahila University and ITER can come to IIT sessions and they can see the campus, we can train there. So like that we will plan, like we are planning inter-institutional training sessions. So and like outcomes, so I end up the project so in like in few years, like we are planning to come up with a publication comparing the diversity of like all four campuses. So that's it. So you can see me like visiting your campus, but no one will leave for like for training sessions as well as thank you.
Thank you very much, Rich. So on behalf of Sri Padmavati Mahila Vidyalaya and on my own behalf, I extend my sincere thanks to Professor K. Satyanarayana Garu, Director IIT Tirupati, and also Dr. Shankar Bhattacharya Garu, Director ISER, for their presence in the launch of this unique project in spite of their busy schedules. Thank you very much, sir, for both of you. And we extend my sincere thanks to other faculty members of the other institutions and faculty of SPMVV students for their presence here. Yeah, listening to the objectives of the project and also listening to the message of the speakers, it's true that protecting the nature is very much important because research also indicated that disease outbreak outbreak is linked to the degradation of the nature. So if we don't preserve the nature, we have to face a lot of health problems. Spending much time in the nature will improve the mental illness. So the research also shows that the green spaces and the trees will reduce the blood pressure and also the stress. And keep in mind, all of us have taken the pledge. So now we are committed to protect the biodiversity. So if we do that, definitely we will lead a happy and healthy life. And I would like to extend my sincere thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor V. Mohammed, for encouraging to take up the research activities related to biodiversity and agriculture. Thank you very much. And once again, I congratulate Professor D. Munda and other project investigators for taking up this unique initiative. Definitely, I wish you all the best and definitely outcomes will be very amazing. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Now, starting with Honorable
I will take a which Dr. Mohammed gets the major 60 of campus on occasion. I request Honorable Vice Chancellor to honor the director and also the listener team to take part in the director IIT. Ladies and gentlemen, further also requesting months to honor the director of IIT. The request I register to honor the Vice Chancellor. But I request the team members to be known. I request the team members to honor the register. No events, purchase the land to honor team members. Thank you so much, ma'am. Doctor, this is introduction document. Thank you so much, please. It's not related to my work, the work of science, for this moment of occasion, the inauguration of the biodiversity multi-institutional. Yeah. First and foremost, extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed Vice Chancellor Judge of SPMVV, Professor students in humanities of academic research pursuits. Thank you so much, ma'am. We are properly welcome to our manager of IIT, Dr. Professor K. Sanchinaran sir, who is also the and also the of ISO professional your presence and insights. The spirit of organization and innovation essential for the success of such multidisciplinary projects across the campuses. But also it is a privilege to remember the efforts of Professor Chair Chancellor in charge vice chancellor of BSU, who was the coordinator for the custom, participated in instrumental in doing all this very good in sufficient proposals. I acknowledge him on the science. Since you're trying to organize register, person actually running. But through coordination and administrative system, then make it not possible. Further, I want to extend my thanks to our team, of Mrs. General for leadership, which has been instrumental in allowing the creation of and it's a meeting for actually the collection education, and also represented from IIT, Dr. Bhakti Jyoti from Republic University, and Dr. Rajesh Shah, Artificial from Republic University, and Harisha from Amritsar, and Chitti Abhi from Amritsar for written application of my name. And also, congratulate all fans for joining in participating in this event. For I want to team Shanti and all consultants and the teaching and non-teaching staff and the students and scholars for making this event a success. Thank you so much for this. Of the national age, after the national lesson, please join for lessons and I also invite all the individuals to a small contribution to the event. Thank you so much. Yes, wait for the national lesson.